I don't know. I can't tell when it actually starts recording anymore, but I hope that's the first thing it caught. That's just the best way to do it at this point. You know, I wonder if that ever happens to anybody else. Do you think that's what they were saying in Bioware Studios as they watched all the shit talkers talk about the art style 2 days ago? And they're just like, listen, you mother bleepers. So it's been an interesting past couple of days. First of all, hello everyone.
Hold on, I need to process why I just say mother bleepers.
I don't know. I decided to clean. Look, I've been in HR confined environments for the past 12 hours. And at some point, it becomes a reflex to clean it up. We're back on this motherfucking podcast, and
where we can say the F-bomb.
Oh, we can say anything we want. It's like the current direction of Marvel, except not shit. Free F-bombs. No, but I mean, first of all, it's been an interesting past couple of days, right? Because number one, Mom and Dad love you. We're actually paying attention to you guys. We're back for 2 whole episodes.
You're on a roll. You are.
We're giving people 3 months worth of episodes in the span of 2 days. It's incredible. But it's been an interesting up and down thing. I feel like other than us, right? Because presumably people might listen to these back to back one day, right? It's like the episode we did before, where it felt like you and me were the only positive people on the internet about that reveal trailer. Like, I wasn't paying attention to stuff until after we recorded, and you kind of tried to tell me about it in the episode. Yeah. But it wasn't until after I was done editing that I was like, what are people saying about this trailer? And I was like, oh, God.
It was bad. It was a lot.
I went to my usual circle of people that I like to watch, I guess, as far as content creators. And it's like, even people who are known for being positive were like, I'm worried about Dragon Age. And so there was that. And then, so for context, we're recording this at night at like 9 p.m, and we'll see if we can get it out today, potentially. But this is the day that the 15-plus minute gameplay reveal has come out for Veilguard, and the 180 is enough to like break necks. A bunch of people, like mainstream content creators, people who were talking loads of shit 2 days ago, were like, well, I guess we might have panicked a little too early.
I actually had a couple people like, I mean, I didn't see their original comment because frankly, I wasn't looking. I saw one sign of negativity or whatever. I'm like, maybe I don't read the comments today. You know, I can touch grass. And I had people comment apologies, like, you know what, maybe it's okay after a while. Sorry, I jumped to conclusions. I'm like, damn, wow, okay.
It really feels like a 180 for sure.
Yeah, no, it's I guess what did you think is what I want to know. What do you think about it?
So, what do I think about it? To me, it's not a 180 for me, because I think basically what we said, right, was like, let's wait for this to come out. Mm-hmm. And I also prefaced it a bit, if people have already listened to or go back to listen to our previous episode. I've been bracing for a long time, right? There were leaks, there were rumors, there was everybody saying this is the direction the gameplay is going to go. Mm-hmm. It is not going to be a real time with pause. It's going to have, we'll talk about this. You could debate how much tactics are in there. But it's not going to be Dragon Age Origins, certainly.
Yes.
I don't know how many times I've said it already. I'm not a fan of that. I don't like that decision. I'd like the old gameplay. I liked it a lot. But that's not what's happening. So, because I already kind of knew that going in, when I saw the actual, let's just say the combat, when that starts up, I was like, okay, this is the moment that I knew was going to come, and that's fine. But everything else, I'd say I was pretty excited to see. You know, I think the city looks fantastic. I think Rathos looks freaking baller. I think that's one of the best environments we've ever seen. In any type of Dragon Age game. Even in when they cut to like Arlathan Forest, I'm like, it looks so good. It's not jaw-dropping graphically, but it's kind of one of those things like, it's probably what we remember Inquisition looking like, but if you put it side... In fact, I did see the side-by-side of Harding, and it's like, oh shit, yeah, this is way better.
Yeah, having like seen it, the stuff that I saw was even like in progress, where a lot of the lighting was not completed. And then going back home and playing Inquisition, like maybe Inquisition doesn't look as nice as I remember. Huh? Fuck. So yeah, no, it looks really nice. It's really really pretty. Um, yeah, but yeah, like what did you think? Because when I first played it, I was like, oh my god, I can't believe the gameplay is opening up with Solus's ritual. We're just jumping right into it. Happy birthday.
Oh, the egg is back. Our egg man is back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I like how somebody commented on the fact that he doesn't look like he's aged and like how appropriate that is compared to like Varric,
Yeah, yeah.
like an elven skincare routine. Um, what is the feeling for you watching this now, considering that you played an earlier version of it?
So the earliest, because I've played it twice, version was really funny because like things were like none of like the effects were in yet, so there was a lot of like movement but no magic, so that looked kind of funky.
Uh huh. Yeah.
And then also Solus, I'm gonna say he didn't have his head. He had a head. It just was a generic head. So when me and Kayla were playing, and Kayla's a big Sylvelan head, like he turned around and it's supposed to be like this big dramatic reveal, and it's like just some asshole. We're like, is this what he looks like in the game now? Like, no, 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 no. It's like we just his head's not finished yet, so we didn't put it in. And we're like, okay. So
All half
imagine,
traumatized. The
yeah,
Slovellans are ready for this moment.
pretty much. Oh, and I think so there's like two mysterious figures that come out of like the portal at the end.
Are you
Um,
excited? Are you
what
excited?
I am excited, but I think they were T posing for us when it. So like just
Oh, that's great.
in the earliest version. This is like
Right.
the earliest version. By the second time we played that, it was mostly there. But yeah, the playing the alpha was so funny.
That actually sounds hilarious. The T posing is like, well, that makes it more terrifying, honestly.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's a lot more stuff like later on in the game that was really funny that I just won't be able to get to until release. But like playing the alpha was like really funny.
Did we have a T posing Corypheus in the modded Dragon Age 2 stream that we did? This is like years ago when we did the.
Might have
Like, I think something like that might have happened. I can't remember.
Yeah, I have a vague memory that God, how long ago was that? But anyway, yeah, no, I remember when we booted it up, and even in its like alpha janky state, I was like, oh my god, we're starting here. What's the rest of the game?
It's. I mean, I think it's a great. Okay, there's so many different things to cover.
Yeah,
What's
yeah.
what's the top of your list? Like, what is the main thing that you, I guess, maybe felt, and then either when you played it or when you watched this latest version, or like feeling? What's your big takeaway? And then, is there anything either when you first saw it or now that from not necessarily gameplay, but like the experience of the game itself? Like, what are your top takeaways?
Oh, that's so many questions at once.
I know there's so many questions abound.
Yeah, I know. Top takeaways. I don't know. It's oh god. The problem is that the gameplay trailer cuts off at a moment that is where my brain is, and I cannot describe it any further, and it's killing me. But like the moment, like right after the gameplay trailer ends, is like where my mind has lived for the past almost 2 years now, and I can't say a damn thing about it, and it's killing
Oh,
me.
it's fun.
So like I feel like like I'm struggling to not go there,
Mm-hmm.
and it's yeah, I don't know. So like I, the gameplay trailer is just like I don't know, just like me biting my knuckles like, "Oh, it's so close. It's right there. It's right at the
Is
tip of
that
my
is that?
tongue."
I didn't realize it had been 2 years since you got to play the first build of it. Like, is that
Yeah.
kind of awful in a way?
Okay, you guys don't fucking know. You think you've had it rough for 10 years with nothing. Try 2 years with one part Like I don't think I'm allowed to say how much I played, but I haven't played the full game, and I'm not even close to the end. Think of that. This is a game I've been waiting for a long time. I started it and am not able to complete it, and I am cursed with the knowledge to not talk to anyone about it too. I am Cassandra from the myth of legend. Like I can't. I can't do jack shit, and I'm just sitting there going for like what? And you think, well, got the rest of the council members that will talk to you. I'm like, okay, that's true, but they're not like not all of them are in it. You know what I mean? Not all of them are sitting there obsessing over like the order of the heads in the ritual site. No one fucking cared, and I get it. No one should. It's just me and the weirdos. But like, that's where my head is. there's
Oh my
another
god.
there's another thing that I've been trying to obsess over, and I can't fucking talk about it. It's so much I can't talk about.
The day that this game comes out, like I just imagine Caitie like tearing the, I don't know why you have to tear something off, like you're wrapped up like a mummy. He's just wrapped up like a mummy and just going like, I speak.
Pretty much.
I am free.
I know. It's yeah. So I don't think I answered your question just because like my answer is Jordan. I haven't.
No, in a way
I
you did.
can't.
That is the perfect
Yeah.
answer, I guess, about how you feel. That's a unique experience that is kind of awesome and terrible at the same time.
Yeah, no, it's both a blessing and a curse. And a lot of people are like, how have you been able to hold this in? And I'm like, with a lot. I don't know. It's just a lot of patience
Meditation.
and the fear that I don't want to get sued.
Wow.
That's about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're listening to this in the future and you know what happens and what I mean, and if you're wondering why I'm still there, it's because it's so fucking funny. And I know like a lot of people are like, oh, I don't really want humor, and it's not the tone that's funny. And that's all I can say. Like, yeah, this is so vague. This is so vague.
You want to know something awful and hilarious?
Yes.
Some of my friends are just like, "What's Dragon Age? This game looks really cool." And like in their world, they just get to walk into that hurts me in a way because I'm just like, do you not even understand that the last game came out 10 years ago? And they're like, oh, really? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, the normies, they're having a great time. Ooh, cake. What's that? That's nice.
In a way, it's very encouraging to me, though, to kind of see like some of my friends who have not taken an interest in this franchise before be like, oh, did you see that Veilguard game? That looked really cool, right? And it's like, all right, this is a good sign. Like, this is a good sign for what could potentially end up happening sales-wise and things like that.
Yeah, no, I agree. So, on the gameplay, I at least wanted to talk about my experience with it because I was able to have a hands-on. So I will say I prefer tactics games. I actually was never a big fan of Origins situation, just because I found like a lot of it to be clunky. I think if it was refined, it would work a lot better. I'm sure if I play Baldur's Gate, because I loved Divinity, I thought that worked really well. I'm sure I'll love Baldur's Gate, but this is obviously very different. And like I've seen a lot of articles say this, and I actually kind of want to echo it. It is a little bit like Mass Effect Dragon Age. Like, it's kind of there. Like, let's be.
I think that was everyone's gut reaction. That was the first thing I thought of, like, immediately when the wheel came up.
Yeah, like it's like in that regard, I do think it is so. I feel like they don't want to say that because I feel like it maybe makes it bad, but like it is. Like,
it also feels like a really natural evolution from Dragon Age Inquisition multiplayer.
Also true. And I think that's what it actually is. It is because like they had the statistics of like the people that actually use the tactical menu, and it was very low. It was very it was like in the single digit percentage. I would also argue that maybe some of that is also because it wasn't implemented well, and that's why people didn't use it. So there's that. But on it. I didn't think it was bad to play either. Like I was not a huge Mass Effect gameplay fan because I don't like the gun aspect. But like this obviously doesn't use guns, and I found it a lot more fun to play. In a way, it did handle a little bit like Inquisition. It's also kind of hard for me to give a 1-to-1 like control wise because I played Inquisition on a PC and they had us do testing on consoles. So, yeah, which by the way, I'm so bad with the console controller. I for like there was I forget which dev was like, "Oh yeah, if you don't, if you're not a big fan of using the wheel, you can use shortcuts and stuff like that, probably for PC." I probably played like half the game without using the wheel cuz I just could not remember what fucking button pulled up the wheel. So I just couldn't be I was terrible, by the way. Like I think you could do it. I just am so bad with controllers cuz I have a problem with lefts and rights, and this game would be like, "Oh yeah, you want to press L2?" And I'm like, "Yeah, game, which fucking one is that?" Um, so that's it's all on me. It is not the game. I just need the PC controls because I'm stupid. Um, but like to be honest, it like I caught on really quickly. I don't think it was hard. And like and if you just don't really want to play that but still want to get the story, I do think there's going to be some accessibility features that would help with that. They're not going into accessibility yet, so I can't say, and things might have changed. But um yeah, that's I guess at the end why I do prefer like an Inquisition type of style. I think like it was close enough that I was having a good time with it. And a lot of people on the council actually ended up really liking it. So, I think like it's okay to mourn the loss of that, but I think that this kind of is the direction Dragon Age was going, and I do want to see their attempt at whatever this is and see it succeed. And maybe it doesn't work out in the next Dragon Age to go back to a little bit more tactics, but I think this is at least worth hearing them out on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm here for the meal that they're gonna cook.
Mhm.
And I like action gameplay and other things, so I'll do my best to get the hang of it. I think watching it was a little underwhelming, but especially games like this, it's like combat is something you feel a lot more than you watch, right? Like if you're
Yes.
not getting the sense of the timing yourself and the parrying, it can look a little. There's a lot of stuff happening on screen, and this is maybe not engaging to watch. But if you're the one doing it, then you're getting a sense for things like timing and rhythm, and it can get fun in that sense. So,
Yeah, and a lot of the stuff they like it hasn't even been unlocked yet. Like there was a screenshot that was
oh, that
posted.
Gamble posted, right?
I think
Mike
so.
Gamble, yeah.
Yeah, and it was like the full wheel later on, and like it had a party of Bellara and Harding, and I'm just gonna talk about the screenshot. I don't, because that's what it is. But like, if you notice on their bar, on the companion bar, they had two slots that were devoted to a healing power that would heal you. Um, and I like they're not mages, so hey, isn't that interesting? Um, but like to me, when I played it, the companions felt more like I don't want to say summons because they're there obviously fighting with you and like you see them doing stuff, but like it felt much more responsive than like past Dragon Age games. Where you're like, "Hey, Solus, can you do something?" And he's sitting there over there picking his nose, going, "Maybe I'll think about it." Sometimes, because I feel like Dragon Age. One of the reasons I didn't like using the tactics is it was like kind of up in the air whether they actually used it or not. Sometimes,
Hmm.
but it felt really responsive to them actually doing it, and like to me, it almost like people were complaining, like, "Oh, I only get 3 abilities to put on the bar." Yeah, but like it almost felt like your companion bars were also yours a little bit. But
I think that's clearly what they're going for. Yeah, it's
mhm.
like it's nine things that you as the player have control over, and that's what happens when you sort of take the
Mhm.
individual party member control away.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like you don't get to control them exactly, but you sort of do. Their abilities are sort of fully at your disposal.
Yeah. So in like I don't know. I and this might not be like my favorite type of game because I don't really play action games, but like I had fun with it. I did okay. I'm not gonna be like, oh, this fucking game while I'm playing it. So like I don't know. I'm honestly not mad at it. Your results may vary. I understand if you more in the tactics. I completely do because I loved being able to sit there, pause, and be like, you know what? I think I kind of want a sandwich and just get up and walk away a bit. I did that all the time, and that you cannot do that with this one. But yeah, so
Yeah, on that screenshot that Mike Gamble posted, I was excited to see it on principle because combo detonations are kind of the but they became the bread and butter of Mass Effect combat. It's kind of like the best thing about them, especially by the time you get to 3 and then Andromeda. Freaking combo detonations are the best, and so the fact that that seems to be something that's going to be included and leaned into for Veilguard, I think is super exciting.
yeah.
I don't, however, know that I love the UI exactly. Like it's just there's a lot going. It's a very busy UI, at least in this one screenshot. Wow.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, no. There's things that they tell me that I don't know if made it into launch, and I feel like I just gotta shut up about it sometimes. So I'm just gonna shut up about it.
At least for now, anyhow.
At least for now. Now, speaking of things, now you've been seeing Gamble's tweet. There has been so much just random bullshit and random places come out. Like it's absolutely nuts. Like have you read any of the articles that came out?
I don't think I've actually read them, but I kind of know what you mean, I guess, because like there's things that have been said, like the Inquisitor's back, and it's weird.
Yeah, so just like a sum up of all the sources that I'm not going to say which sources where because it's just going to be a headache, but where did all this come from? So before the gameplay trailer, the Dragon Age official account would go into like the premiere chat for that video and like drop lore stuff so that people would sit there watching. I don't
Uh-huh.
know. And in one of those, it said like, "Oh yeah, you would be able to customize your Inquisitor's appearance during character creation." Everyone's like, "Oh, that means the Inquisitor's back! Hell yeah!" So yeah, the Inquisitor's back. Um, Surprise! There's also been stuff that have been released that I'm so surprised that they're releasing. In an EA press release, EA themselves. Like I'm not going to elaborate at this at all, but it mentions Hardings get mysterious magical powers. I can't elaborate on that at all. I'm so surprised that's out there right now.
Wow. Okay, that is a very interesting one for them to just put out there.
Yeah, I would like if I was on the Dragon Age team, I would have never approved that.
I don't know why they would feel the need to put that out there. I fully approve. I fully approve of the Inquisitor, though. Like, not just that it's happening. I think that's as much as it may have been interesting to try and surprise people. Hawk showed up in Inquisition. I don't think it would be that much of a surprise. I think it's actually just better to say, yeah, that's a thing. It's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Not the PC, but will make an appearance. I just think that that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
People have a lot invested in that damn character.
Oh yeah, no, I love my Inquisitor. I would be sad if they didn't show up. But so like other things about the character creator have come out. I should also say this is because during the Summer Games Fest there was like a closed journalist play testing thing. So a lot of the articles that have come out are from those people that played the game. So like stuff about the character creator. There's like over a dozen hairs that have been worked on. A lot of them are long hairs. Like there's like a deep customization to like skin tones, undertones, melanin levels, the way skin reacts to light. You can change the lighting option in the character creator. The big one is there's body sliders. Congratulations. They have non-binary options if that's your jam. They have 4 different Rook voices. Which
4 is great. That's outstanding.
I'm very happy with that one.
I'm honestly shocked that is happening again, and bra fucking vo that is happening again, given all the lines of dialogue that are going to come from the player character. I think that is honestly, I thought that was decadent in Inquisition. I can't believe that's happening again. I'm so happy about that. That is such a baller move.
I'm just going to say it. I don't know if it actually originally was, and we highly requested it. Highly requested it.
Oh, well, good for you. Good goddamn for you guys. That's outstanding. Because it really is kind of like a uniquely, I mean, to me, I think decadent is it's extravagant. Like that's a lot of investment, time, money.
Well, we did not think like we were going to get that. We thought that was done. It was over. We just kept talking about it and bringing it up because we I don't know. I just thought that was the correct choice, and like we just thought it was too expensive. And
Right.
honestly, when they sat down and showed us the gameplay trailer, it was a different Rook voice that we hadn't heard before, and we're like, "Hey, that's new, yeah,
Oh, brilliant. That's
yeah."
brilliant. I
And they're
hope
like,
that gets
"Yeah."
talked about more because, and I know I shouldn't bring up the game that shall not be named. I feel like we have to say it now with Baldur's Gate 3. But like the silent protagonist, it's not the same sort of requirement to pull that off. Whereas this is, it's harder to pull off voiced. It's hard to do two. For them to do four is like, I don't know, man. Like that's a swing for the fences kind of move. I'm so glad that that's happening.
Yeah. So like I actually don't have heard much of the Rook voices at all. So that's gonna be a surprise for me too, and I'm very excited about it. Let's see other things they've talked about.
The origins to me, I mean, I don't know how
Oh,
much
the
it's going to
origin.
affect. I mean,
Eh,
we'll see.
I would say that the better word is backstory.
But you're right. You're right. I mean, we all want to say origins, but you're right. I think the context of it is to not oversell it as backstory. But still, I don't fucking care. One of them said Grey Warden. That's all I
Yes.
fucking need.
Yeah.
That's all I need. The Grey Warden player character is back.
Yes, you can play as a Grey Warden. There are six backstories you can play. There's the Grey Warden, the Morn Watch, who's a part of like a necromancer, Mortalitasi. They're kind of like the police for
That's cool. Yeah.
the Grand Necropolis. They got the Veil Jumpers,
Mm-hmm.
which are kind of like weird magical investigators, I would say. You have the Shadow Dragons, which is kind of like a freedom force in Tevinter. You
Mm-hmm.
have God, why am I blanking? The Lords of Fortune, which are treasure hunters.
Mm.
I'm blanking. Oh, and the Crows, the assassins. You play an assassin.
Yeah, those all sound excellent, Caitie. So the way this is going to go for me is Grey Warden, and then my second Grey Warden character, and then my third Grey Warden character, Grey Warden, Grey Warden, Grey Warden, because I fucking love the Wardens, and this is exciting for me that they're back.
You know what? It's Veil Jumper for me. I love those weird little fuckers. I'm
The
doing the Veil
Treasure
Jumper.
Hunter Guild or whatever that one was sounds pretty cool too. I'm not gonna lie.
See. I would be between Morn Watcher and Veil Jumper. Those are my two that
Oh,
I
no
was really
love for the
interested in.
crows? I thought you were gonna say crows, to be honest.
No, I'm not. I'm not a Crow fan.
Not stabby enough.
Well, yeah, I guess so. I guess so. Nah, just assassin isn't my jam. It's like the weird magical nerds. That's my jam.
Okay,
Not
it fits.
also to say that these are not limited to what class you play. You can be any class and choose any of these origin backstory things. So
Outstanding. And race
oh yeah,
selection is
any race, any gender, any
which
whatever.
includes any race, meaning including Kunari, right? Human,
Yes.
elf, dwarf, Kunari. So the same options as we had in Inquisition.
Yep, all four have been confirmed. What other? Oh, now we're going to story stuff. Oh, by the way, I should say, while I have been reading all this on Twitter, it has been incredibly overwhelming. But Fellason on Twitter, who's a good friend of the show, at least for me, you have not met them,
They,
but
they can be my friend.
they can be your friend. Has done such a great job on collecting all of this into one easy to read post that I am 100% reading right now. If you are reading the YouTube version of this, I will link it because it is just so much nicer to read this than like trying to claw out information from Twitter. So, we do finally have the confirmation that Veilguard is set to about 9 years after Trespasser. So it's been a minute. Uh, so what they told us is like, yeah, we're gonna make it about the same like time difference of when the last time most people would have played Inquisition to where they're starting this. Um, yeah, Rook is the name of the player character. That's finally out and about now. It's typically been out in the league for like a long ass time, so it's finally good
Yeah.
that I'm able to
Yep.
say it now. Um, let's see. There's a lot about the intro to the story that's out right now and people talking about it. Rook's faction is referenced a lot in the intro. I would also say other places of the game, like there was quite a few often that when I picked the Veil Jumpers when I played, that it came up from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there is a hub like Skyhold and the Normandy, and it is called the Lighthouse. I fucking love the Lighthouse. I can't say anything else than that, but I fucking love Lighthouse.
I believe I've said on a I can't remember what prior episode it was recently that I'm like, I want the hub. I want some sort of hub. We have a hub. I am satisfied.
There is a hub. Um, there was another news article that talked about depending on your decisions, companions could die.
Good.
That's actually news to me. That shocked me.
I don't want them to die per se. Well, no, it depends. I mean, for role play purposes, I might want to stab a motherfucker. Like, can I
That's
do
true.
it? Like, can the player character be the one to do it? You know?
They did confirm that decisions from previous Dragon Age games will be able to be carried over. And this is where we talk about that the keep is dying. Rest
Oh,
in
no.
peace. Well, I don't know about the site. I have not actually heard any word on how long that's gonna still be up or maintained or anything like that. But instead, what they're going to be doing for Veilguard is that you get the choice to do basically what the keep does in the character creator. So you get to choose like, okay, I chose this to go to that, whatever, and they have like this whole nice UI. We never actually got to see that because it wasn't quite finished when we got to play, but they were like talking about it and the way it's designed, and apparently what the people saw at the Summer Games Fest, where I think it was finished. It looks real nice. They have different tarot cards you can choose based on your old choices.
Mm.
So I think that is a much better choice than the keep because the keep I think was an interesting idea, and especially since like you can just like set it and forget about it, and there's going to be so many people that have not thought about Dragon Age Inquisition in 10 years will go to the keep and go, oh thank god I inputted this because I didn't remember what I did. But in the long run the upkeep is just a lot, and that bitch goes down every other month now. It goes down so often because there just not really an incentive to really like keep it up, and like there
Sure.
have been times the keep has been down for weeks at a time, and it's only probably gone up because I talked to somebody and say, hey, the keep is down, and they go, oh fuck, thank you.
Some intern needs to restart a couple servers.
Yeah, like at least twice I have said, hey, did you know the keep's down? They're like, oh no, we'll look into that, and then suddenly the keep's back up. Maybe I just happened to say it at the same time. I don't want to say it's all me, but like the keep is a weak link in Inquisition, and it is entirely possible that one day it's going to be impossible to put a custom world state in Inquisition unless you mod on PC, because there is a way to change the flags on the PC version. If you're on console, you might be fucked. But yeah, so the Veilguard's getting rid of all that. It's all in game. It's in engine. It's much better. Oh, another thing. It's going to be offline. You can play offline. It's not online only.
That's great. And I've read also not even an EA account link
Yep.
necessary. Fantastic. Fan-fucking-tastic. Finally,
I
some
don't
good
know.
fucking food.
Yeah, I don't like. I'm surprised. We didn't really ask. That's I guess that, but like I am so happy about that. And like it's there's no microtransactions and stuff like that in there. They they keep wanting to tell us that there's no microtransactions. I'm like, I don't think that's the issue people have right now. So, I think online only is the one that everyone hates.
Well, yeah. I mean, microtransactions. I mean, single player games. I mean, Ubisoft is still doing this with single player Assassin's Creed games, where it's just.
I guess it's fair. I'm out of the loop with Assassin's Creed.
It's just tons of microtransactions, and not even just cosmetics, but like I understand it's single player, so pay to win is a dubious thing to try and define, but like buy an XP boost and like level up faster in a single player game. It's like, why? This doesn't make any sense. So yeah, no, I'm very happy to hear that there's no microtransactions for sure. Yeah, I mean, no, what else? What else is coming out?
A little bit about the characters. Every companion is romanceable by either gender.
player sexual, as was
Players,
once.
yeah, I have things to say. We'll talk about it later, much later, maybe. It's a long story actually about that. Anyway, but so yeah, if there's a companion that you have hard eyes for, congratulations, they are yours. Um, and there are some characters that if you don't end up romancing them, they'll end up romancing each other. I do know if there's more than one couple, I don't know of it, but there's at least one couple I know of, and so since that factoid has come out, I have not seen the pairing. So if you wanna guess the pairing, by all means, I have a great joy to seeing people guess at things. But
You kids have fun.
you kids have fun. It did come out that there are some great cameos. Yeah,
They're goddamn well better be.
there is a long story about the cameos actually that I cannot get into until release, but it's a good one. Anyway, I'm so sorry I can't say all these stories. I really want to, but we're gonna have to have like a heart to heart after the game releases, so I can just vomit all these out.
You're gonna have to let it out. It's gonna be very cathartic for you, I imagine.
I think it would be because especially since like it's just been locked in my head and I'm just staring at a wall. It's like I can't. I gotta. I'm a yapper. Yeah, I gotta talk.
Well, you're in the right business.
Oh yeah, I know, right? Well, that's why I started the thing because I was losing sleep because I just wanted to talk about Dragon until the time, but no one would talk to me. Like fuck it, I'm talking to a mic, and yeah, here we are.
Oh, you know how this is so. I'm sorry for taking
no,
us so randomly off topic. Like, do you know how you made that? Like, for some reason, you got really obsessed with that Dragon Age theme ride a little while ago, and you did like the whole history of like how it happened and how it came apart and how it came back. Some hopefully many years in the future, when Dragon Age goes off into the sunset and Caitie Ghildirthalen hangs up her holla horns. I don't know what you're gonna hangs about. Hopefully somebody does a documentary about how your channel got started, but you shouldn't have to do it. Somebody else should do it for you.
Okay, fun fact, not confirming, but when I was doing the ride video, I felt really awkward about it at the time, but I messaged the then community manager Jay, and that was the first time I actually talked to him. And we would kind of talk on and off a little bit after that. That video might actually be the reason that BioWare noticed me and got me on this council.
Oh, I mean, why wouldn't it be? That's a fantastic video. Like that is one of those things that's like, this is going to sound weird, but like if someone didn't even give a fuck about what Dragon Age was, that's a good video. It's just like a fun kind of a weird story about an amusement ride.
Yeah, and I remember it actually got like passed around with some of the devs because they didn't know about it either. And that one, yeah. So long story short, Dan, who I do still talk to, and I have told him this story, who actually sent me the information that there was a ride in Dubai. Yeah, thanks, because I'm here now. So thank you, Dan, for letting me do this.
Life is interesting and careers are long, folks.
Yeah, it's weird. So more gameplay stuff. Each class has 3 specializations, and they've at least come out to say that the rogue specializations are duelist, saboteur, and veil ranger. Whatever that is. I generally don't know because I played a mage. So
because why wouldn't you? Because mages rule.
Yeah, no. I hop into a Dragon Age game. I press mage. There's no thought. I'm a mage.
100%.
Let's see.
one of my friends who starts playing Inquisition for the first time, he just texted me randomly. He's like, "Man, I think I might restart. I don't think I liked my class." I go, "Did you pick mage?" She's like, "No." I go, "You did it wrong. Go back and start again." No, I like sword and board. I'm just kidding, but seriously, mages are cool.
Oh, I hate sword and board, man. I'll play sword and board.
No, I'm kind of classic like that, but just the spells, just the base spells, like the basic attack in Inquisition just looks so freaking cool. If they keep anything, does it look as cool in Veilguard?
Sorry, what looks so cool?
The basic attack. Like not even like used abilities, like in Inquisition when you're just doing the basic like standard attack.
Oh, Yeah, I honestly okay. There's actually a bit to mages, and I'm desperately searching if I can say it or not. I do not think they've said it yet. So yeah, I mean, I think it looks cool is the best way I can say this.
That's all I needed. That's all I was asking.
Yeah. Um. They have announced that each class has a range option that includes sword and board because if you want to get a target at ranged, you can like boomerang your shield over there. You can
That works for me. Yeah.
yeah, like each class has their own version of a go hit something over there. Which
Mm-hmm.
they showed us. I actually thought was real nice. I was good. And like for the rogue, it's a you have a dagger and your range is obviously a bow. Stuff like that. Uh they say there's light platforming gameplay and like a little bit. I mean, things change. But yeah, you jump to things. It's kind of like Inquisition, I would say. Ooh, Inquisition, but without like the weird shard puzzles, is what I would say. Maybe a little bit. I don't know. Maybe it gets more advanced later on. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, game targets 60 FPS. So if you're on console, I think it also 60 FPS is also for consoles.
Consoles will have quality and performance modes. So
Yeah, there we go.
performance mode should target 60. Presumably, quality will be a higher resolution, targeting 30.
Yes. It is not open world. The game is mission play based, which I would say is true. It's a lot like Trespasser in that regard, I think. Because Trespasser, like you can kind of like explore around like one level, but like there's a couple like things to unlock, and you can go back and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Side quests and optional content is highly curated, especially when it involves some motivation experiences of a companion and others. We may be investigating, for example, a missing family with an entire open bog environment to search for clues and a way to solve the disappearance. That's what we were told. The side quests were not active when we were playing, but
Mm-hmm.
we were, which I would just say, like, the reason they weren't active is because they knew that we were all going to like beeline the main story, and like frankly, just beelining the main story, we barely got it done in time, like to the point where they would cut us off. But so yeah, I'm excited to see what that's about, because some of the stuff they talked about seemed really interesting. Dialogue wheel is back. I don't mind the dialogue wheel, but I think a lot of people hate it. I'm not mad at dialogue wheel.
The dialogue wheel makes me happy, and I appreciate in other games it's different and it's a dialogue tree or whatever you want to talk about. But the dialogue wheel is near and dear to my heart. I love the dialogue wheel. I'm sorry, I don't ever want it to go. And when I saw it pop up, it made me happy. Legitimately, that may have been one of the happiest moments for me during the entire gameplay. Just
Really?
I see a dialogue wheel and I just go, I'm home. I'm home. Like this is it. This is what I came here for. I want to talk to people. I want to make dialogue choices, and I happen to like the dialogue wheel because of Mass Effect and Dragon Age 2 and Inquisition. And I see a dialogue wheel, and I'm just like, these are the games I love because it's a dialogue wheel.
Oh, I'm trying to think. Like, there's just so much stuff. Game is likely mature 17 plus. Some of the romance scenes are apparently saucy. Who would have guessed?
Look, I'm gonna roast them. Look, they got the one. They had the Korra one from Andromeda, which is the only good one that's ever existed.
Was fucking nuts, dude.
Dude, it's the most realistic kiss that's maybe ever happened in a video game, and we were all just uncomfortable. We're just like, why did this get so good all of a sudden?
It was so horny.
It was like they've done like 7 games with romances before that where it just looks like digital puppets getting smashed together, and then all of a sudden, like they hired a freelance. I don't know who they hired that did it, but I'm just like, if it all goes up to that quality,
and that was years ago.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Drag and drop the file, copy and paste it. I don't know. I don't know anything about game development. Figure it out, folks. But
it's the same engine. I think technically you could make it work. But yeah, no. If it's anywhere close to the core romance, holy shit.
Yeah, that should be fun.
Oh god. Yeah, I'm There's a lot of like little things I'm even skipping on too, just because like it just.
Ooh, can I say one?
Oh yeah, go for it.
This is from Shinobi, who's everybody knows
Yes.
Shinobi on Twitter. Photo mode confirmed. I know for some people
photo
that's
mode,
like,
yeah.
who cares? But like, I fucking love photo mode. Photo mode is one of my favorite things about video games. I know that may sound stupid to some people, but I fucking love photo mode. So hopefully it's a good one, and I'm hyped to see that.
I have a story on photo mode.
Yes.
So the first time we played, we asked, "Is there photo mode?" They say no, and we're like, "Oh, that really sucks. We really wanted one." The next time we go, they're like, "Oh, by the way," and they bring this guy in. I am so sorry, I forgot his name. But he says, "Okay, we have photo mode, all thanks to this guy." And he like gives a little wave, and we're like, "Yeah!" So there's one particular we all need to be kissing the feet of because he figured out photo mode. I honestly cannot remember his name. I am so sorry. But I think of you every day, and I sing your praises, and I hope that you are getting a bonus, and I hope that you look at everyone's happiness and know that you caused that.
Listen, photo mode guy, I can't give you a bonus, but I can give you this. God damn it!
Don't you? Oh, there. Yeah, all right. Don't you? You faked me out. I thought
This one's for you, photo mode guy. Yeah, I know it's not as good as money. It's just a cheap podcast sound effect from a guy you don't know. But fuck. All right, that's enough.
Oh my god, you are a menace. This is fucking.
I really am. Like, you can't give me stock sound effects and just not expect me to play around with that.
We need to cut you off because that's 2 episodes in a row you pulled off.
Oh, I'm telling you, the kids are getting a lot from us today. Over this past week. It feels like a good day for Dragon Age fans, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, everyone has been feasting. There's people I haven't seen be active in 10 years, so they pop up and go, hey, what's up?
It really does feel like a time people are shaking off the rust.
Yeah, it's like they never left, which is good. It's fun to see everybody. But
that's how it should be. That's 100% how it should be.
What I'm also surprised is like some of you artists are so fast. Holy shit.
Oh wow.
So fast. I don't know how you guys pump out artwork so quickly. I bless you. I'm enjoying it highly. And I also think it's something just like there I feel like in games, if people aren't making jokes, that's a bad sign. Like if people don't care enough to make a joke about it.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, and the memes that I've seen come out are so funny. And there's so many of them, and it just feels good to be like, oh, people aren't enjoying it. They're making jokes, even if it's at the expense, like they're giving a shit enough to pull up MS Paint and make something. Like there's one I saw where it's so it's kind of like 2 images, and it's of that scene in The Shining where I forget the character's name, but the wife is in the bathroom screaming while Jack Nicholson's trying to like break in with the axe. Very classical image. And in the bathroom is Davrin with the griffin. And then the one breaking down the door is like the helmet of the like Dragon Age Origins Grey Warden that has all of like the prompts asking for when like the warden wants to know about griffins. Like, griffins? Does the story have griffins? Can you tell me about griffins? That one got me good.
It's yeah, it's good. I'm happy that people are enjoying it. That the energy is back. Quite the swing, honestly. I mean, I'm sure that the hardcore faithful were probably happy with the reveal trailer. I didn't mind the reveal trailer. Like we talked about the reveal trailer already on the last episode, but I will say this: sometimes people can make good points that don't necessarily change how I feel, but it's a good point. And some people, I thought, after we did our episode and everything, I saw some people making some good points. Like the reveal trailer sort of felt like it was from the people at EA who make trailers for like Apex Legends or FIFA Ultimate Team. And I was like, that is a good point and probably at least partially true.
I can't deny it. I don't actually know the truth, but I don't know otherwise.
That didn't make me negative about the trailer, but I'm like, okay, good point, internet hater man. Like That's well said. That being said, there was all of that a couple days ago, and now there's this, and so the clown makeup has finally come off after all these years.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually, you bring up a good point with the trailer because I feel like I've had a lot of people be like, here's the thing. If you want to hate the trailer, I really don't give a fuck. I really don't. Hate it all you want. Leave comments. Whatever, man. Which, by the way, every time you leave a comment on the trailer for the YouTube, that just like ups the engagement and YouTube makes it promote it more. You're doing it a service. They don't give a
The
fuck.
downvotes as well.
Well, the downvotes are kind of harder to hide, but like the comments, like that's nothing but positive for them. They don't care. But anyway, yeah, so I feel like a lot of people have even gone to community council like, "Oh, I bet they like, you must be bad at your job cuz you didn't tell them that this sucked ass." And I feel like I kind of want to explain from our perspective a little bit. Now that my NDA's been loosened a little bit and I can talk about it more. But the problem is like we didn't see the trailer for a while. A very long while. We saw a lot of the game first. And we had granted a little bit like half baked of the gameplay trailer because like some of the lighting takes a while to cook in, some of the models were not quite done, like oh god, the Solus face model has been tweaked 100 times. But when like we had this image in our mind of what the game is, it already has this look. And so when they show us the game trailer, which by the way they never showed us a finished one, but we didn't get like when you work the other way, when you see the gameplay and then see the trailer, I don't think it's as jarring, to be honest. And so we didn't really think about it. And when you see the trailer first and then the gameplay, okay, I get what you mean. But
Right.
when you work the other way, like everyone on the team, including us, did, I like it didn't phase us. So we're like, oh yeah, it's fine. It's a little like campy little fun thing, and then like 2 days later you get the real deal. Okay, I guess. But I think maybe one thing that they did not like. They said that they were thinking about a song, but we heard a whole completely different song in my memory.
Right.
Maybe they'll tell me I was wrong, but in my memory of it, like we did not have the. Is it a David Bowie song? I think it was a David Bowie song. I don't even know. They did not have the song. It was like something else entirely. So I wonder if like they had changed that and kept what we heard, which I don't even remember what it was. It was just like random music to me. I wonder how much that would have changed. So I don't know. I think like to the people like, oh, didn't do your job well. Like, it's harder when it work when you're going in reverse.
Yeah.
Because it's you have to put your mindset in the way of what is someone thinking when this is the first thing it's saying, which I understand is where a mind should be at completely, but it's also hard when like you're also seeing unfinished things. Like the animation isn't as smooth. There's no facial animations. There's no special effects. Like it's
Yeah.
you have to kind of pretend in your head what it would be. And so like we okayed a version that we thought of and then somehow something along the line turned it a little bit more cartoony and there were other details. So I feel like I'm really just defending myself here. We're like we okayed we said yeah, sure, that's fine, but it was slightly different. And I don't know. I do think a lot of it is also just overblown. And I think some of that also is because people are just tired of that, like what they call the Fortnite look and the Marvelification of video games and everything else. And I totally get where that tone comes across in the trailer, and I understand that they see that and go, "Oh God, not another fucking one." Because even in like other like game shows I watch, I'll see that like kind of like quirky tone and like immediately get turned off, and it does kind of give that vibe because a lot of trailers are. So like I get. I don't know. I can't be angry at some of the reaction to it because I understand where they're coming from because I too am tired of that. Unfortunately, I have the luxury of knowing the rest of it. So that's why I think like us and a lot of the team were like, okay, the trailer, I understand, but let's get to the gameplay thing because that's kind of like what it actually is. Why they didn't start off with that, I don't know. I'm not in marketing. I don't make the decisions.
Somebody is.
Somebody is. I don't know, and I don't know. I don't know. Frankly, it's behind us, and this also goes on with our conversation of Dragon Age marketing. Not Dragon Bioware marketing has always been weird. Like Anthem was a choice in general. Andromeda was kind of funky too. And if we look at the history of all the Dragon Age trailers, there's always like the main trailer, which uses some weird ass song. Like I I always forget about it, but yeah, Dragon Age Origins, one of their trailers has a Marilyn Manson song on it.
Correct.
What? The main Inquisition trailer, I don't even know what the song is, but like that trailer has always been like, oh, that's kind of like, I don't know, it's not really like the trailer. It's like it shows the companions, but like it doesn't like give the vibe of the game very well, I think. Somehow they did it again, and quite frankly, maybe this is the most Dragon Age thing that trailer could have been, is a little bit funky and not representative of the game.
That's 100%. That's the right take. Like, for those of you who are new here, maybe it surprises you, but for people who have been looking at this stuff, it almost is like a rite of passage at this point for a BioWare game to get a trailer that doesn't match the content.
Which I understand there's someone screaming at their headphones or whatever you're listening to, like it shouldn't be like that. I get you.
Yeah, no shit, it shouldn't be that way.
I do. In a way, I'm kind of nostalgic for it already, though, because it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
This is one of those look back and laugh moments, and hopefully there's not like major repercussions. I don't know. I think the game can speak for itself. I really hope it does well. At the very least, I'm just happy we're getting it. So
that's the most important thing. Yeah. And by the way, you should. I mean, this is my 2 cents. Why wouldn't you defend yourself if people are heaving criticisms your way? I think some of those people, honestly, they're a little disappointed by what they're seeing. They also probably wish they were a little bit more involved, so to speak, and they're not. And it's always easy to sort of tell yourself that when something disappoints you, that the answer is very simple and straightforward. And of course, if only I had been there, none of this would have happened. Reality is not that. It's more complicated than that. And sometimes that frustrates people. But to your point, most important thing is this game is coming out, which is very good. I do want to say something, though, else, because I think I would be remiss if I didn't say this.
Yes.
And I hope in some sense maybe that I end up being wrong, and this is just a little moment of not like I'm trying to bring us all down to earth and bring us down, but I do want to say this. I think this gameplay is good. I don't think that it's necessarily, if I had to give it a rating, I'm not saying I would give it like 10 out of 10 or even 9 out of 10. That's okay. It's very, very good. However, this is their vertical slice from all accounts, right? This is what they've been showing to press, showing to you guys. This is what they've decided to do their gameplay reveal on. And they have had really, really good vertical slices in games that didn't end up being that good after that vertical slice. We've said it multiple times on different episodes of this show that if Mass Effect Andromeda had kept the quality bar that it has in the first Planet, that it wouldn't be considered kind of a flop the way a lot of people consider it to be. Yeah. Even Anthem's vertical slice had people's heads turning. The initial E3 drop, everybody was really excited for.
Yeah.
And then something happened. So I hope I'm wrong. I hope that's not what happens. But for posterity, Dragon Age is not back until it's back. And I'm not going to say BioWare is back until the full game's out. I'm just not going to do it because I don't want to jinx it. I hope I'm wrong, but just for posterity, let's keep in mind they led with this because this is what they felt was strongest, and that's their right. That's what they should do. But the game's not out until the game's out, and then we'll really know.
I think that's a healthy way to go, and I'm not going to argue with you because, quite frankly, I've been thinking the same thing. We have not played the full game. I don't know how it ends. I don't know most of the game. I only played I don't think I can say how many hours, and I don't think I can say how far I got necessarily, but like we put a good chunk into it. Like we did 3 days of play testing at one point, and that was like 9 to 5, 9 to 4 because there was like we talk about it. But where we're just playing the game. And like I got pretty far, and I still had a lot left. I wasn't halfway done.
Do
And
you feel like, and if you can't say this, it's fine, but do you feel like for the hours of time that you put in, that there was an even level of quality throughout that?
I think so. Yeah, it was the first the part that I played. I thought held up really well. Like there was some stuff that like was kind of glitchy and like that, which was completely to be expected. And like they I yeah point is like I liked the quality. I liked what's going on. I was very invested. And like I did have some like worries from the first playtest that were completely resolved in the second. So like I was pretty confident, like, okay, it's pretty solid what we played now. But then what happens next? And I think that's where mine head has been. And now generally in at least all the Dragon Age games, I have been, the first like part of the Dragon Age, like Inquisition, like I kind of get bored with the Haven aspect. And to the best of my ability, it is not one to one at all. I basically played the Haven part. So like my favorite part of Inquisition's in the later part. So like what's the later part gonna look like in this game? If I'm enjoying this with the later part, like I could get excited about it, but then like what happens if it tanks? I'm thinking of like Dragon Age 2, where like Act 3 is fine, but it's really short and it's really rushed. Like you can knock out Act 3 in like a couple hours. Well, I mean, like, of course it's a couple hours. We could speed run the game in 8 hours, but like it's
Live
really
people
short.
watched her.
Yeah, I know. It's very short. I'm like, what if it's like that again? I don't know. I'm looking forward to it, but at the very least, even if you're someone who's into the story, I think we're safe. I think we're in the clear. I think we're okay, because at least what I saw, I was really enjoying. I'm really excited about, and there's so many little things I wish I could tell you, but I can't. And and I'm so excited for people to see. Like you think you know, and you don't. You think you don't know, and you don't know how much you don't know. And
Yeah.
I am so excited for people to see it. Um,
Ditto. Oh,
so
okay.
yeah,
One more thing, and
yes,
I swear I'm not trying to nitpick,
no,
but
that's fine.
because I am that nerd, because
No,
you
go for it.
when you said people for the story, who knows how many people are technical nerds like I am,
Mm-hmm.
and this is not the game; it's an early thing. There's some kind of weird, I don't know if it's frame time issues or what. There's a weird hitch in the gameplay that they showed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to feel about that. I'm sure that might be something that's smoothed out by the time the launch comes out.
Sorry,
But so many,
what hit are you talking about?
it's not like bad frame rate, but sometimes it's what's called a frame time, where the actual FPS is still 60, but the frames are not rendering evenly within that 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a nerd, and especially if you're a PC gamer, it has become a hot topic, point of contention, especially amongst PC players, because a lot of games are suffering from it more.
Yeah.
So you can sometimes tell by watching it, and as I was watching it, I was going, "Oh, it has that." The Jedi game that came out had really bad issues with that as well, and people were not pleased. Anyway, maybe that'll be ironed out.
I can at least say that apparently there are some small issues in the gameplay that are like vigorously being worked on, and like this is obviously not the final build of the game, and you can see the things are why it's not the final build. Like fun facts. Okay, you zoom in on my Discord server found this, by the way, not me. But if you zoom into like the ritual site with all like the different Evanurus heads and like the pillars, hey, they accidentally doubled up on a couple.
That's fun.
Some of the assets are doubled up, and it's not supposed to be. Yeah, I think it's just like a little bit of things they still need to fix, because it is still an early build of the game, but that is the current build they got. So yeah, obviously there's stuff that needs to be worked on because the game's not out yet, and I just hope they're not crunching to get it done. It's whatever. I don't know. So yeah, it's just a lot of cool stuff coming out. We kind of need to wrap it up because we've been at it for a while.
We have been at it for a while.
Yeah, and there's so much information. Probably as we are talking, Mike Gamble's probably already said some new shit that I.
Okay, so last thing, and for us to wrap up, the timeline from here, if I manage to get this edited and out on time, the timeline from here is on the 14th. Is the Q&A?
Yeah, there on the 14th there is a Q&A on the Bioware Discord. I have no idea how that's going to go, but there is one. And then Game Informer has their cover coming out on the 18th, and apparently Mike Gamble said that they are going to do some stuff with Character Creator. We do not have a date on that at all. And then there's probably going to be other like little snippets that like come out during the following months. And then in the fall of sometime fall of 24, but sometime within the fall is release. So, yeah.
Dragon Age Summer, everybody. I don't know if we need to say anything else. I think the gameplay trailer is awesome, and I can't wait to see more.
Yes, and I'm just excited to finish the game. I'm going to disappear for however many days. You will not hear from me. I will be just in my little world having a great time. And to finally finish, like, you don't know the curse I have of knowing what I know and then not being able to finish.
I guess I'm coming out of retirement like Jay-Z and Michael Jordan in the 90s. All right. Caitie, where can the folks find you?
You can find me at Ghildirthalen on YouTube and Twitter. That's all. What about you, Jordan?
I logged into Twitter today. That's kind of frightening. I'm not saying I'm going to be around, but there you go. And I'm going to try and respond to some of the comments on the last episode. I said I like to respond to your guys' comments sometimes, and normally it's not that many if you can get there in the first day. But it was like a couple hundred comments in one day on YouTube on the last episode. So
yeah,
I'll try and talk to you guys.
I haven't looked. I have been so sworn to the comments. I forgot about you guys. I'm sorry.
We'll talk soon, everybody.
Goodbye, terrestrial. That's what we say.